Ubla loatak, Kanuik Pizzy. Today is Monday. What day? All day today, let's be responsible. Always try. Do our best. Cooperate with others. And let's treat everyone with respect, including ourselves. Did any of you go to Oktoberfest? I heard it was a blast. I just got back from Anchorage this weekend. It was a good trip, and as you can see, I almost have my whole voice back. I watched the videos about what you learned last week, and I need to tell you a story. Well, I could have really used all the stuff you learned last week on our trip out on the airplane on Bering Air when we were flying to Anchorage, because I forgot my phone. Yeah, I got on the airplane, and then as we were taxiing out, I was sort of double checking where my phone was. So I checked my pockets in my jacket, and my pockets in my pants, and my pockets in my vest. And then we were taxiing down the runway, and then I started taking stuff out of my bag because it just didn't feel right. But I thought, oh, no, I've got it. It's right there. It's got to be in one of these pockets. But I checked again, and by this time we were taking off. And I checked my front pocket, I checked my vest pocket, I checked my jacket pocket, I checked my pants pockets. I started to go through the pockets on my bag, one at a time, checking all the stuff I had. Then I took everything out of the middle of the bag. David was sitting across from me. He was going kind of like, I wonder what she's up to. So I took everything out. There was no phone. So now what do you need your phone for when you're flying? You need your phone to get on Alaska Airlines. You need your phone to call anybody. And if you're like me and have your credit cards and your ID in your phone, you kind of can't do anything. So then I started to panic. I was worried. I was anxious. I was upset. It was like my stomach was like this. Oh my gosh, guys, it was really something. And I had to calm myself down because it's not like I was going to hop out of the plane and run back to Brevig and successfully get my phone and be able to go to Anchorage. Then I started thinking all these horrible thoughts, like I'd end up at Bering Air and I couldn't even call anybody to come pick me up, but maybe I could use a phone. But then I couldn't even go out to eat because, it was a terrible feeling. I simply had to calm myself down. I tried a few things. Closing my eyes and breathing. All those feelings didn't go away, but I felt a little calmer. And then I started to whistle breathe. Nobody could hear me. David looked over but he didn't seem too upset. I got myself calmed down by the time we landed into Wales, and then I needed to talk to the pilot. And I said, "Sir, I'm very worried because I left my phone at home accidentally when I was getting ready, and I need to find a solution or I won't be able to travel. Is there any way that we can stop back in Brevig? I'll pay whatever it might cost." And he said, "No, we can't do that, but luckily I'm coming back on a mail run right after, and if you have somebody bring your phone out, I'll get it for you." I felt a lot better. And I started to realize how lucky I was, because how many times does a plane come back on a mail run on a Sunday? We flew into Nome. He told me it would take a little over an hour to get there and back. I very nervously waited for him to come and to get back, and I made it on the flight. And I didn't lose it because I felt like losing it like several times. I felt like going bananas. So now I have a question for you. Have you ever been in a situation like that where your heart was beating fast and your emotions were just overwhelming? Sometimes it's anger, sometimes it's frustration, sometimes it's sadness. What kind of breathing do you like to use to calm yourself down? Now, last week Surmeet went over finger breathing, where you go join me. And she also went over figure eight breathing. Now, you could do this quietly on a plane just by tracing the figure eight, maybe on your leg or something. Let's practice that for a minute. If you were quiet, nobody would even know. And then she went over pinwheel breathing. Remember, that was you inhale and blow out real slow. So now that we practice those again, could you make a decision for yourself? Which one is something you might use? And I challenge you to use it once or twice today, because it sure saved me on the plane. I'm not kidding. I was ready to grab that pilot seat and start shaking or just, So those things can happen to all of us. And sometimes we can do things that we regret. I was able to get it together and make an I statement, and things turned out okay. So I hope you have a wonderful, awesome day in school today. Try to take on the challenge of using your breathing once or twice today and see if it helps calm and center you so you can make a good, clear decision when you have big emotions. Have a great Monday.